Structure of man. Man is composed of one master spirit and 7 supportive structures. It is called icon Nanahaku. Tamashi, the master spirit of man, is called Kushi-Mitama. Haku is the various factors of the structure that consists man. Haku is also called karma. It is largely divided into the flesh, the spirit, the spectrum and the real formations. The flesh, expression of direct actions. Solidified description of the spiritual inhabitants. The spectrum, formation, joint of thinkings and actions. To make Kushi-Mitama and Haku work effectively, it senses the nature of mentality, thoughtfulness of actions and circumstances of this world, and help Kushi-Mitama actually work spiritually. The spectrum body changes variously due to the work of the feelings. Mainly it is the emotion that lies on top of the flesh body. It is fluidified description of the spiritual inhabitants. The spiritual body formation, fluidified description of the spirit that is composed of the spiritual substances. It mainly works as reason. The spiritual body is colored by the spiritual lineage, the tendency of the character and the changes generated by one's achievements of the present and the past. The feature of Kushi-Mitama formed by the character of the spiritual and the god lineage. Ara-Mitama, desires required for a living in this world. It has an antenna for the nerves and lets the flesh body conduct direct actions. Concerns with appetite, reproduction and instinct, etc. Most of the ancestral spirit enters man in one's birth as Ara-Mitama. Nigi-Mitama, emotions to keep the flesh body. It has an antenna for the nerves. It feels hot or cold and shows one's feelings. It feels everything that comes onto the flesh body. Sachi-Mitama, necessary intelligence for maintaining the flesh body. To judge one's actions, namely if you do this you would end up that way. To judge or reasoning to keep one's body. Having an antenna for the nerves. Kushi-Mitama, the character given by one's own god. Variously and deeply it does intelligent works and has the wisdom of the spirit. Having an antenna for connecting to all the gods in the heaven. Can receive the wave of the god spirit and can eject it too. Man must place Kushi-Mitama as the principal and Hakus should be placed as the secondary to live in this world. If this is opposite, and the longer man stays in that situation, the worse man gets the bad influences. The emotion of God is in Kushi-Mitama and the emotion of people arises in their heart. Both must be blended well. And man has to adequately settle with them oneself. When man dies, Ara-Mitama and the flesh are returned to the earth. Nigi-Mitama and Sachi-Mitama are cleaned off in the spectrum and the spiritual worlds respectively and become purified as the original normal state. Kushi-Mitama goes back to the 4-dimensional world of the god spiritual world. The spectrum body stops working at the order of Kushi-Mitama and washes off all the worldly connections and things of the real world. The spiritual body and the original body go back to Kushi-Mitama in the god spiritual world after they are cleaned off in the spiritual world. In the end they reduces to Kushi-Mitama only and restore in the 4-dimensional world. Dispositions in the process of the purification are partially go back to tie with one's lifetime before one's death or are lost completely forever. Because of no further demand for the usage from Kushi-Mitama. To keep a normal state of man, one must make it a rule to position the master spirit centered and Hakus normal. Never ask more than what you need and conspire with the greed. And try not to be winners, beautiful and angry at everything. All those are not necessary things, and because of them man just gets haku. And when man's heart gets hardened further because of them, man may get badly influenced by the bads, which is really ridiculous.